So far, I have lived a very interesting and not the normal life. I have learned 6 things. I've learned a lot of things, but I'm going to name 6 things today that I have learned from the life that I have lived. Number one, your environment does not determine who you are. See, when I was growing up, I was split between two different religions. On one side, my mother and her mother, and all of those family members went to church and were Christian. And then on the other hand, I spent a lot of time with my grandmother, my grandparents, and they were Jehovah's Witnesses. So being split between the two, it made me feel this tug of war with myself that I didn't quite understand. What I did understand was that everyone is entitled to what they believe because at the end of the day, we all have to make our own decisions. Unfortunately, I rebelled and I didn't do either. But fortunately, I found my own path. Knowing what I know now, I can say that what you decide to do with your life is 1000% up to you. And do not allow what other people believe in to influence you and make decisions for you just because that's the environment that you grew up in. So that's number one. Lesson number two, understand that not everybody is going to be able to come with you. People in your life are going to fall off. And there is nothing that you've done wrong. It's nothing that you can change. It's just going to happen. Because as we get older and as we change as human beings, we outgrow certain people, places, and things. And that is okay. There is nothing wrong with that. So allow yourself to bloom no matter where you are or who you're surrounded by, and understand that whatever support you need will be sent to you. You may not get it right when you want it, but you definitely will get it exactly when you need it. Lesson number three, knowing when to get back up. Life will definitely knock you down. And when you get up, you might get knocked down again. Never stay there. Never allow life to dictate to you whether or not you should fight. Knowing what I know now, there were a lot of times where I allowed life to momentarily defeat me. And because of that, I absolutely made decisions that influenced where I ended up, who I ended up being around. And those decisions weren't necessarily in my best interest, right? But eventually I did realize that it wasn't in my best interest. And so I made a different decision. Did it leave me alone? Yes. It left me alone because I needed to figure out who I was, what I wanted, and the type of people that I actually wanted to be around versus those people that I was around just because of the environment and close proximity. So when you feel like you're alone, just know you're not really alone. And when you feel like you're down and out, be okay with that and understand that you can still get back up. Choose to fight. The next one is understanding that I can't control anyone outside of myself. I cannot control my environment. A lot of the times when you are young, you're living with your parents or you're living with other people. Um, at the time, I was very young and I had friends that I should not have been hanging out with, and I didn't understand that until I was put in a predicament where I was doing things that I definitely did not want to do, but felt like I needed to do to keep up with this group. And so, knowing that, I would definitely say that me making those decisions then was not necessarily a bad thing, but it was a lesson learned. Uh, so, the fifth lesson would be that change and failure are not only inevitable, but they're guaranteed. Understanding that nothing is ever going to stay the same is going to be something that will help you out so that you don't hold on to things longer than you should. And then understanding that failure is inevitable is kind of that, well, was kind of that motivation for me, because I knew that if I failed, I had the opportunity to start over and try again. Some people fail and they let it dictate to them what they can and cannot do. And I'm not that type of person anymore. I went through things, and so therefore I had to learn these lessons the hard way. But knowing that I failed essentially gave me a reason to start over again, because I'm like, okay, well, I failed. Now I know what not to do. Now I know what to do. And then I try again. And then it's like, okay, well, I got further than I did last time, but then I failed again. Okay, well, implement what worked, stop what didn't work, and then try again. I am a fire sign. I'm a Leo. And so basically, I'm a fighter. I will not give up. I will fight tooth and nail. And for a long time, I didn't understand that about myself. And I would get so frustrated about just failing in general, right? What I have learned is that me being a fire sign, it gives me that push to try again. And if I don't try the same thing, then I still will try something new, because when you learn from your failures, you're able to pivot and adapt. So, yeah, that was number 5, knowing that change and failure are inevitable and very much guaranteed. Number 6 was a very hard lesson for me. Number 6 took me a lot of heartbreak and disappointment to learn. And so I'm hoping that this lesson will help you out a lot. Number 6 is learning that the one thing that you can trust is that people will always show you who they are. I say this because we for whatever reason, as humans, we have this, I don't know, belief that if we believe in someone enough, if we invest enough time, that they will change. And that's not always true. Accepting that people are going to be who they are and not being hurt by it is a lesson that I learned through heartbreak and turmoil. I literally had to be put in situations where it was life or death, me or you, because I loved someone so much that I was willing to go through the mud and go through the dirt with them, not understanding that while I'm trying to bring them up, they're dragging me back down into the dirt. I didn't want to believe that this person could be or wanted to be the person that they were acting like. So I always had hope. And I always believed. So much so that I broke my own heart because they showed me who they were from the beginning. When people show you who they are, believe them the first time and decide whether or not you want to leave them where they're at or if you want to try and thug it out with them. Sometimes it is worth it. 90% of the time it's not. And that's just real. And that's just being real. It is a very, very rough lesson. And I hope that people will listen to this and understand that, yes, the goal and the mission is to love them, but to ultimately love yourself more. Enough to make the changes and actually decide to evolve into a better person than what you were. We love to help the people that we love. We love to be there for them. Thanks, Pearl. We love to be there for them. But sometimes we need to love ourselves. No, all the time. Correction. All the time. We need to love ourselves more than we love them. Because if we're not careful, we will be dragged into the fire with them. And that is not always a great thing. It can be in some instances, and it's very, I wouldn't say rare, but it's very, the chances of that are very low. Make sure that you understand that people are going to be who they are. And when they show you who they are, just believe them. Accept that. And stop trying to save people that don't want to be saved. And that's just real. You may have a good heart. You may have good intentions. You may want the best for someone. But if they don't want that for themselves, if they don't have what they need to have learned that lesson, it's not going to work. And it's not that they don't have the capacity. They're just not ready yet. We all have a breaking point. And if they haven't reached their breaking point, then nothing is going to ever make them do anything different than what they're doing. So accepting that they have to learn their own lessons and letting that be that is something that we all need to learn. Hopefully sooner than later. So yeah, accepting people for who they are, believing that they are that person and not trying to make them into anything else, is is a very tough and rough lesson. So um, the bonus number 7, is just that. If someone is not ready, leave them be. This lesson came hard because there were a lot of situations in my life where I tried to save somebody at the detriment of myself. Save them from the life that they were living, save them from the environment that they were in, save them from the abusive relationship that they are in, save them from the just all the things. And in turn, I got disappointed and hurt because they decided to stay in that. And I did it to myself. I hurt myself. I disappointed myself because I should not have expected them to leave if they were not ready. I tried to impose what I wanted for them onto them, and that's not how that works. Having to walk away from certain friendships and family members and people that I loved, whether they were related to me or not, was hard because I could see where that was going. As someone who has been in a domestic violence relationship, as someone who lived in an abusive home, I saw it. I saw the toxicity. I saw the separation when they separate you from your friends and your family, and you are to totally just depend on them 1000%. And you know, it is very mentally tolling and emotionally draining to constantly try and pull someone out of something like that when they don't want to. And then you have those who will leave, but then go back because of the I'm sorry's and the I'll never do it again and please forgive me, don't leave me, you're just gonna up and leave. And it's emotional manipulation, first of all, right? But because I've been there, I understand why someone would think like, okay, maybe because I left that this person will understand, like I'm not taking this and get their stuff together. But when you go back, you actually showed them that they didn't actually lose you. You didn't actually go anywhere. And so they revert back to their own behaviors. You can't save people that don't want to be saved. Right now, I actually work with a nonprofit that helps teach women about budgeting and finance. And there's a particular group of women that come from abusive relationships or controlling marriages where they don't know what's coming in and out of their home, but it also could be a cultural thing, right? So they don't know anything about budgeting and finance because they never see it, right? But they want to learn. So they're out here getting the help that they need because it's something that they don't want to go through life saying, I didn't know this. And so I commend those who are actually reaching out and getting the help that they want, right? And investing in what they need. And seeing the dedication that these women have when they show up to their program every week, the dedication that they have when they open their mouths and they ask for help and resources from their coaches, it is very enlightening to know that there are some people who actually do want help. But those who want help will seek help, and those who don't won't. And we have to learn the difference. I'm not saying don't try. When it comes to other people, trying is okay, right? Because you can only tug of war for so long, right? That's the try that I mean. Like, you tug and war, you reach out your hand and you try to pull them over, but then they're pulling you back. And eventually somebody is going to cave, right? Knowing that, I'm going to change that word. It is okay to attempt. It is okay to attempt more than once. But don't get dragged to the other side. Leave the door open so that they know when they're ready, they can come to you. But do not continuously put all your effort into that, because it will drain you. So, knowing those 7 lessons has definitely changed my life. Those are 7 lessons that I wish I had known sooner, and 7 lessons that I hope that you can get something from. So if this resonated with you, definitely leave your comments down below, and know that these messages, they all come from love. They come from hard lessons that have been learned. And I just want to let people know that they're not alone. We have all been in certain situations. And while they might not be exactly cookie cutter the same, we can resonate. You are not alone. You are not alone. So, if this message resonated with you, or if you got anything out of it, definitely feel free to leave a comment down below. If you would like help to figure out your next steps and gain some clarity as to what you can do and how you can help yourself, definitely feel free to book my clarity breakthrough sessions. And yeah. So if you feel like this is something that is for you, feel free to book a clarity breakthrough session with me, in which we will go through your situation and figure out what next steps and what resources would benefit you. That way, you don't feel like you have to go through this by yourself. I'm doing this for those who feel stuck, who feel like there's nowhere to turn, and feel like they have no other option. And you do. Let's figure it out together. Book a clarity breakthrough session. Leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time.